The college football experience, Ball State Cardinals 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with our promo code TCESGPN. Once again, $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
What's up, everybody? You're watching SGPN. Fuck the Cowboys. Let's go, baby.
Football experience, Ball State Cardinals 2025 season preview episode. We are here. Look, this is the one they all wait for, man. I love me some Ball State football, or I wait for it. I like to go back and listen specifically to the Ball State one a lot. I mean, fun team, fun program over the years. I remember the Nate Davis era. Carson Lexington Steele has been on this very show. So, I mean, back to the 90s. I remember Blaine Bishop. So we're going to key in on these Ball State Cardinals. Maybe they can tap into that magic they've had certain seasons. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
Shout out to the chat. Come be a part of it. Breaking down 136 teams. 20 are already out there. Go listen to them. And Maction in June. Why not? All right, jump in. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Let's talk a little Cardinal football. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for he's my co-host on the college basketball experience as well, which check out. We go live every night of the season. Give it up for Farmer Staffer. At Austin P with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers. Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
What is up, man? Yes, Ball State, Maction, the COVID former MAC champions. Let's go.
Mac tonight! Come on, make it Mac tonight!
Yeah, I mean, the program has put out some guys, man. I mean, look, here's what's crazy is you go back, and I saw they were going to retire Willie Snead's jersey number this year, I believe, or put him in the Hall of Fame or something. I had him in fantasy before, but if you go back far, I mean, not that far, Brady Hoke, who I've interviewed on these very airwaves before, the year after he left, so with his team, the 2008 Ball State Cardinals, Stan Parrish was the head coach there, I believe. Actually, no, Hoke was you know what it was? Hoke was the coach, and he left. He left the final two games, so they didn't have their coach. He pulled a Brian Kelly. He pulled a Brian Kelly, I think. But they were undefeated heading into the MAC championship, so they were 12-0, taking on Turner Gill and Buffalo. And Buffalo did upset them. But a lot of that might have been the speculation of Hoke leaving for San Diego State. I'll say this. If that happened today, that MAC championship would be for a college football playoff game, most likely. I mean, you can never say 100% because other teams might go undefeated, but there's a strong chance that game Can you imagine how Muncie, Indiana would have been rocking if you told them they have access to a playoff if they win that fucking game? Tell you one thing, Brady Hook probably doesn't take that job until after the season.
Oh, 100%. And hey, you know, it sucks is they play in the stupid Lions Stadium. It could have been a game on campus in the snow for a chance to get to the playoff. But yeah, I mean, we love the MAC. We love Tuesday night, Wednesday night chaos, and Ball State, man. Ball State is a fun program and a fun brand.
And yeah, I mean they got to get the championship game on campus, or at least do like Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, empty ass Ford Field. It's just terrible. You literally chose like the worst location in the Midwest for that championship game. They got to fix that. But anyway, that's not Ball State's doing. All right, but I mean, maybe their school president or athletic director has a vote. I don't know, but I'm excited about this day and age because it is a brand new day and age in the great city of Muncie, Indiana. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they brought in a brand new head football coach. And let's get the slideshow going. Let's just get the slide. YouTube.com/the college experience. They bring in Mike Uremovich, who is very familiar with the MAC, might I add. This is a guy who was with Northern. First off, he's an Indiana guy through and through. Born and raised in Gary, Indiana. Went to Purdue. I don't know how the people feel about that, but because that's your week one opponent. But also went to Northern Illinois, and then was a GA at Northern Illinois for the coach Novak there back in 2001, 2002, 2003 when PJ Fleck was playing for them and Thomas Hammock were playing for them. Then he was at Northern Illinois in 2012, 16, 17, 18. So he's had some great runs. And then at Butler, he did a damn good job at Butler. Yeah. As a head coach. Now, previously before that, he was a head coach at St. Francis before that. And you know, he was terrible out the start, but he got the program rolling after that and had a 10-win season in 2011, making the NAIA playoffs. Mac, I am intrigued with the hire because Butler, I watched, you know, they don't do scholarships really. And they play in the Pioneer League. And he came in instantly and really upped their game. And you know, I runs the quarterbacks a lot, which I think is intriguing. What do you make of this hire? What do you make of this new day and age in Muncie, Indiana?
Yeah, you and I both, when we graded the MAC coaches, like Uremovich, I mean, he did a good job at Butler. It had a winning season every single year, all 3 years there in the Pioneer League. Butler limited from the scholarship standpoint. And you kind of go back to St. Francis as well. It took a minute, but he also took over kind of a dump when he got there, and he built it brick by brick, and that was a different era. And then you like the other stops, having familiarity in the MAC at his time with Northern Illinois. I like the hire, man. I like the hire. I think Ball State got it right, and it's going to take a minute. But in the MAC, you can flip it quick with the portal and just access to players. So maybe Uremovich. I keep butchering his name.
You sound way more confident than me. I'm like you're you know not gonna work here anymore. But
Mike, that's what I'm calling him, Mike.
Yeah, hey Mike.
It's like with Ken at San Jose State. I never even try his last name. I just go Kenny.
Yeah. No, I mean look, that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Part of the fun here, but I do think it might have been like flying under the radar. You see people's like best coaches hired, and no one really talked about this one. I think this could be a sneaky good one based on what I saw at Butler. And that St. Francis shit was when he was much younger. He's learned a lot since then. So let's dive into it. But before we talk a little more Ball State football, a little more, about an hour more. I want to let you know you are listening to the College Football Experience. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and we are breaking down all 136 college football teams in the FBS with a solo podcast for each and every team in the land. So subscribe, tell a friend, and I highly recommend watching it. YouTube.com/The College Experience. But if not, ears are good too. All right. So jump on over there and remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. All right. Let's jump into this action because he's inheriting an offense that was fucking terrible in many ways. But Craig Harmon comes in a new OC. They were 88th in scoring offense, 43rd in passing offense, 121st in rush offense. Overall, they were 103rd. I guess they weren't awful, but they weren't good. I consider awful like if you're like 115 and beyond. I don't know why I do that. So 103rd, all right, Mac, what do you make of these numbers? And the question, I think, which is a good question, can they achieve better numbers than this in an overhaul of an offensive philosophy? Because let me tell you, they're going to run a lot more than they're going to pass.
Yeah.
Based on what he did at Butler. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Uremovich, he's got an offensive background, so obviously he's going to have his thumbprint all over the identity of this offense. Harmon actually was at the high school ranks the last 4 years, but he worked with Uremovich at a couple stops, Northern Illinois, Temple, and then St. Francis. So that's where the connection is. So a guy that he knows, trusts. But yeah, I mean, they're Ball State's going to run the ball. That's going to be their identity, just like it was at Butler. Yeah,
well, Northern Illinois did it too, running those quarterbacks, especially when he was at Northern Illinois, even more so than of late. So Craig Harmon taking over as OC. The returning production. Well, I'm kind of fascinated by this because Kiael, is that Kyle or is that Kiael? Kiael Kelly. I think it's Kyle, and I'm just a fucking idiot. Kiael Kelly is their quarterback. We think he's going to be the guy to get the start. It could be the Colorado transfer, Walter Taylor, who actually I thought looked all right. I mean, I know he had Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn and stuff, some NFL guys to throw to, but Kelly's an interesting story because,
yeah,
he was a wide receiver last year until the final couple games where they said, you know what? That's my favorite thing about college football is like, I wish, they were just like, you know what? We're fucking losing every game. Let's just put our best athlete at quarterback, call hike every play and have him do something. Football ain't that hard. People make it much more complicated than it needs to be. I have believed in this philosophy for a long time. I remember, I've been a fan of college football since the 80s, and I just felt like college football had a leg up on the NFL. Well, just putting your athletes at the quarterback spot. It took the NFL so long and you wonder why. I can only imagine race. But because you watch Mark Rippon play quarterback, you're like, he's kind of a statue. It's amazing what happens when you put in someone with some mobility and it can stress you out with your legs. But I'm intrigued. I wonder if he gets to start because Walter Taylor can move a little bit too, and he's a traditional quarterback. But knowing what Butler did on the ground with their quarterbacks last year, maybe Kelly gets to start for him. Besides that, they only bring back three others on the offense. Qian Magwood, a wideout, and then two on the offensive line, Tristan Cook and Chris Hood. I honestly don't know if the offense will be better because, I know the run numbers will be a lot better, but will the offense actually chart better? It's tough when you're inheriting a brand new team. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but yeah, let's talk about the portal because
there was plenty.
Yeah, they bring in quarterback Walter Taylor from Colorado, as I just alluded to. They also brought in Braden Feiharty from Yale.
Oh, yeah.
Qua Ashley from Kennesaw State. Right, Elijah Jackson from Purdue. I do like them going to wide receiver Donovan Hamilton from Purdue. Getting these Boilermakers who you play week 1. I like it. All right. Eric Weatherly from Bucknell, the Bison coming in. Drew Casons at tight end from Butler. Kobe Gross from Florida A&M, who keeps a good program there. Then the O-line. 4 Purdue transfers on the offense because Jordan King and Aaron Roberts are coming in. And don't forget Otto Hess from Boston College. Look, you could put me as head coach anywhere. I could be at Alabama, and you tell me a guy Otto Hess wants to play, I'm bringing him. Give him a scholarship. All right, that sounds like a fucking football guy. Also, Adam Dolan coming in from Butler. So a few Butler transfers that obviously will know the culture and know what to expect. Punter Adam Saul Rosenberg coming in from Washington as well. Mac, $1 million question. I know I kind of already asked you this, but I don't know if the offense will be better, but will it be better? Like, I feel like 103 is not for a team in the MAC that's kind of in a rebuild. I feel like 103 is not a terrible number for a MAC team rebuilding. How about you?
It's going to be interesting because it's going to be a work in progress year number one. How many transfers did they bring in from Purdue? What's the final number? Was it like 5?
Yeah, well, you know what that's got to be is he's from Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
He's probably plugged into all those fucking high schools.
Yeah.
Right? And I like the saying. You play in week 1. Shit, give me the points in Ball State week 1 just because I know that they're bringing in what's his name?
Odom.
Barry Odom, who I had him on the show in last July, but he might have forced them out the door, so it might give you even more of a reason to say, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what? The offensive rushing numbers will be better. I don't know that the offense will finish better than 103rd, though. If anything, I kind of would bet on it not to in year 1. How about you?
I'm with you. I think from a ground standpoint, they're going to take steps, but I mean, neither of the guys that they have. I mean, one of their guys, Kelly, is a former wide receiver. The other one, Taylor, coming over from Colorado, he's mobile as well. So they're going to use their quarterback to run. They bring in Ashley and then Jackson from the portal in the backfield. So you like a couple Butler guys coming over too. I like that.
I'm curious to see. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. But hey, we've seen it before happen. Like you see it in the NFL rosters. There's a Danny Woodhead on every roster, I feel like. So perhaps it works, and he knows what the hell he's doing. I'm going to trust that he does because he's been a part of the MAC for a long time, off and on. Who knows that better than, there's a few that know it better than him, but I'm saying he knows it pretty well because he was a part of a lot of winning teams with Northern Illinois within the MAC.
Yep.
Let's talk about the defense, but before I do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience is brought to you by Circa and the Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for the entire stay. You'll get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 food and beverage tab from Stadium Swim, and obviously a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. And by the way, you can always get 15% off at any of the Circa properties with our promo code SGP15. So do that and let it ride. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport. College football win totals. Right now we got Stanley Cup, college baseball World Series, NBA Finals. All the spot. That's the spot. MyBookie. They accept customers from a ton of different locations, even outside of the States. Easy deposits, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Get on over there. MyBookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Once again, terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back, and let's talk a little Ball State defense. The new defense. You got your work cut out for you. Bring your whiskey. Jeff Knowles. No Jim Knowles. Jeff Knowles. I did not check to see if there's any relation there. I should have. I didn't think about that.
These numbers are not very good.
But I did not think about that.
I don't.
Jeff, any relation to Jim Knowles, the new Penn State defensive coordinator there?
I don't see it on his bio. I just searched Jim, and Jim's not in there. You would think that in his bio they would mention that.
Yeah. Well, the defense last year, I might have been playing for them. 132nd out of 134.
Good God.
In scoring defense. Pass defense, well, they're a little bit better. They're 130th out of 134. The rush defense. Oh, no one's running on us, you bastards. We have a top 100 defense. You do. You're 100th. And total defense at 125. So Jeff Knowles walks in huffing and puffing because he's looking at these numbers. And he says, damn it, honey, pour me another cocktail. I got some work to do in Muncie. Mac, the defense. They return one guy.
Good.
Linebacker, Joey Cleveland Stemler. What? I mean, yeah, I kind of am with you. I think when you're that bad on defense,
clear house.
Yeah. Just, hey, guess what, guys? I'm leaving Butler. There's a bunch of scholarship players I'm taking with me, but they need players. So head on up to Indianapolis there. The portal, they went out. They brought in some guy. I'm kind of like George Okori from Vanderbilt, bringing in some SEC talent. Vanderbilt was good last year. Nathan Voorhees. I'm actually familiar with him. He was actually a beast at Bryant. We covered him on the FCS show. No relation to Jason, as far as I know. Ashton Rocky from Butler coming in on the D line, and Amir Glenn from Wake Forest. 2 P5 guys coming in. For some reason, they didn't add any linebackers, but they went to the secondary and they brought in Ashton Whitner from Old Dominion, Avery Stewart from Kentucky, DeAndre Shepard Spy from Coastal Carolina, safety Michael Gravely from Western Michigan, safety Alfred Chia from UConn, and cornerback Roman Pearson from Bucknell. But no. Oh, did I fuck this up? I think they got a couple more corners, and I think I fucked this up. But anyway, that's a lot of names. That's a lot of names, buddy. But they brought in some talent on this defense. Let me see if I botched. What do you think? I'm going to tell you this, Mac. I'm going to say the defense is going to be a lot better. You know why? Because teams that run the ball control the clock more. Yeah, they control the clock more. And when you control the clock more, even if you have a shitty defense, they're not on the field as much. So the numbers, in my opinion, will be better. They will be better. How about you?
Yeah, I definitely think they'll take a step forward. And Knowles is a well-respected coach in the industry. I mean, he's been in the game over 2 decades now. So, I think guys like Avery Stewart coming over from Kentucky, and then they brought in some guys, like a couple other guys from Butler as well, to help with the culture a little bit. But guys like Avery Stewart, the guy from Vandy, I'll butcher his name, Okori, and then Che from UConn was good as well. So I think they will take a step forward, less possessions. They can't get any worse. I can tell you that.
And actually, I stand corrected. That is the only corner they brought in, Roman Pearson from Bucknell. So I was up to date on my slides. I think the defense will take the biggest jump out of anything on their team, probably. Now, I say that, but then I do remember their non-con. So
I know.
maybe I'm full of shit. I think within the MAC, the defense will take a big jump. If you can get those numbers just specifically in conference. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to watch him play, man.
It's a new era, man. I think they will show a level of toughness in year one. Now I don't know how many wins. We're going to talk about the schedule here because they didn't get a very generous schedule either. Whether it's conference play or their bye games.
I love this. Michael Huffer. We were first in rush defense on Tuesdays. That's a great stat.
Action, baby.
Clark say I need Jason Jason Whitlock went to Ball State. I was not aware. Now cut them a fucking check. Look, I'll say this. I'm going to talk about Schumann Stadium in a second. And Schumann outbid David Letterman, who's a Ball State alum, for the naming rights of the stadium. So let me tell you, you got David Letterman money I can only imagine Jason Whitlock makes a decent money spewing all that shit he does he's a shock jock, right? He just always, he's the same as, look, I don't know. I don't want to shit on him on his own show, but I'm saying on his Ball State show, but at least cut them a check. Come on, Jason, cut them a check. I did not know that. Now
you'll come around on him if he cuts a check.
I'm just saying, like, this is a day and age where, like, you anybody could be. We talked about in 2008, they would have made the playoffs. Guess what? They would have made the playoffs with that system then. That was without all that Whitlock, Letterman blood money, right? So, like, why can't they? Fuck David Letterman. He hasn't shaved in fucking forever, right? And I love David Letterman, but come on, Dave. If you're not gonna buy a razor, goddamn it. Give Ball State a few $1 million. All right.
It's hilarious. This is a good episode.
Now let's talk about Schumann Stadium, because that is part of the state of the program. We do state of the program and where the program's trajectory is currently at, where we're looking. Schumann Stadium is 58 years young, and let me tell you, I will not hear any slander on this stadium because I enjoy it. I can't. It's not like, you know, there's certain sacred ones to me, like the Sun Bowl and, you know, Folsom Field, and, you know, there's a bunch of sacred, or the Rose Bowl, right? It's not that, but it's a good football stadium. It's fun. Look at this thing. All right, Schumann Stadium. You got personality. You got that shit in the back. Go back to that photo. You look back there. You got, I don't know what it is. Looks like you can get your car washed in the back there, but it's still a fire stadium to me. I enjoy this. Football, people overthink this shit. All right. That's why you got stupid ass stadiums that look like goddamn like shopping malls. Which floor is the Apple on? Yeah. I need to repair my computer in the middle of the fucking game. All right. Classic press box. Good look to me. You don't need much more. That is football. All right. Not this bullshit we're seeing every day in the NFL. This is better than Lucas Oil. I'll fight anybody on that bullshit. All right. Mac, look. It's
22,000 renovated in 2007.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's a nice football stadium, dude.
Yeah.
I think you look. It's not the Rose Bowl because of its history, but it's a good college football stadium, and I like it. I think it's a good thing. I'm giving it 7 of 10. 7 of 10. And anyone in the area should be going to this game. It's got personality too. So what do you give that 1 to 10, by the way?
I think 7's fair. And I like that little hill there in the background. That's kind of got a little, it's a little unique.
A lot of things happen on that hill. Ask old Dave Letterman, huh?
You can get laid on that hill.
100%. I like a grassy knoll. All right. And that's not a Kennedy reference. I'm just saying, like, I like to me, I think like stadiums have gotten ridiculous. Like, I can't even watch a fucking NFL game. It's like, what are we doing here with these stadiums? It's like, I mean, they look so ridiculous. It makes a stadium is supposed to be something like a castle you protect, not a goddamn 4-story shopping mall. All right. It's supposed to be that. That is football. It's supposed to be war, like, you know, on the gridiron. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? What are we doing?
I think this is my favorite part of these previews is every stadium outside. It's like, yes, look at this bad boy. Then
yes.
You shit on every dome in the process.
Well, the best part is you got 136 teams and you only got what? 3 domes, I think it is.
Who? Syracuse, UTSA. Who's the? Oh, UNLV.
UNLV. Oh, and that's the worst one because Sam Boyd's a fucking gem.
Yeah. Sam
Boyd was their stadium, and they ditched a gem for a corporate NFL. And you see their games. There's like 17 people. They almost went to the playoffs last year with like 20 people in the fucking stands.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we played at a state-of-the-art stadium. Yeah, it says Raiders at fucking midfield. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on. This is good. 7 of 10. 7 of 10. Let's go. State of the program, though. And it's a fun logo, by the way. It's a fun logo. I like that logo.
The card.
State of the program, I had to give it a 4 of 10. And I might even be being generous with being 4. But I think they got the hire right. And I think there's room for optimism based on his track record. Like, to me, if you put me as Ball State's athletic director, it's very logical to make that hire. I think it makes sense. He's plugged into the state. Guy, in a team like Ball State, I know like national recruiting, it's not on the same. It's not the same that it was 5 years ago. NIL has changed that. You check the portal before you land a lot of your big time recruits. So to me, yeah, at Ball State, find some gems within the state. Have a guy with Northern Illinois pedigree that saw Coach Novak build it up there, because he's the real designer of that Northern Illinois program. And I do think it's on the rise. I need to see it though. Because I will say that is a big jump. Going from the Pioneer League to the FBS is a solid jump. Pioneer League, folks, if you don't listen to the FCS College Football Experience, that's a non-scholarship conference. So like that thing, it's tough. That's a tough jump there. What do you give the state of the program, Mac?
I was going to say probably a 3. Got the hire right, but we need to see it. But hey, man, you can flip it in the MAC quick. We've seen really good coaching matters in that league. So Uremovich, he has his work cut out for him, but I think they did get the hire right. I'll give it a 4, actually. Yeah.
Join the 4. What? Be a fucking come on, follow. I made the graphic. All right.
I also love this part of the show, the you standing on the coin with an arrow.
Yeah, of course. And look, if I had more time, I would have put your face on some other jackass that's standing on a coin. But I did good. I like to think I do good work.
It's good. It's good flavor. I like it.
Look, that's why you come to the College Football Experience. All right, we give you out solid winners. Talk Ball State way longer than any other goddamn publication. And also attack David Letterman's facial hair. So and Jason Whitlock's shock jock commentaries at times. So subscribe, tell a friend. But we're gonna talk about the schedule in Uremovich's first year. Schedule, not kind. But before I do that, I want to let you know that the College Football Experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog's going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. The longer the series goes, the bigger the bonuses get. And let me tell you, Underdog has great college football and college basketball stuff. For a Action Tuesday night, it is the best shit out there. And I'm not even saying that because this is not part of the script. I believe that. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. You probably heard me talking about Rhythm before. They just dropped a awesome game-changing new feature called Power Trends. These are AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line of win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Also, get your free 7-day trial period today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. Let's talk about this schedule. Can you do me a favor right now? Can you find me the current line? Is it out there? Ball State, week 1 in a series that goes back to 1985, pre-Bernie Parmalee era at Ball State. They head into, I like this stadium, Ross Aid Stadium there, West Lafayette, Louisiana, for Barry Odom's first game with the Boilermakers.
16.5.
Man, I'm tempted with that many former Boilermakers. The problem is you're also taking on a defensive coach where you're putting your, I wonder if Walter Taylor starts, but you're putting a wide receiver at quarterback. Give me the points. Little brother. They're going to lose though. 0-1. What are you doing here?
I think I side with you on the point. Yeah. it's just so much unknown. But both sides, first year head coach versus first year head coach. But Purdue will start the Odom era 1-0.
Yeah, Michael Hoffer's on the upset money line. He says, "Let's go."
You
gotta like the unknown.
He's a Ball State alum.
Well, you gotta like the fact that you've seen this before in college football, and this might be the year of the most of these. I was thinking about this the other day. How many first-year coaches are playing first-year coaches? Like Mullen taking on Phil Longo and Sam Houston. That leaves a little bit of possibility for the outright upset, in my opinion, because if your offense is not there yet, because that's a major overhaul in some of these situations. It's a major overhaul. So why not? Why not? You're an alum. Sprinkle the damn money line. Week 2. Does it get easier? No, you head to Auburn, Alabama. And I love the fact you've been here. You've played them this many times. Fuck you, SEC. But it's a good paycheck for Ball State. I was looking at how many times they play. I was assuming going into this MAC when I built this graphic that this was the first matchup. Shame on me, because they've actually played. They've probably played the same amount of times as as Auburn and South Carolina have. But anyway, Hugh Strip Club Freeze is coaching these Auburn Tigers. Who knows if it will be from a hospital bed or a goddamn strip club, but I got Auburn winning this. Surprise, surprise. What are you doing here?
Well, and I tweeted out a video. I'm on Baylor against Auburn in week 1. So I think they're getting Auburn off a loss too. So yeah, this is going to be one of those where Arnold runs up his stats, and
Yes.
Auburn's going to roll.
That's how they cook the books. They're like, the SEC is unbelievable with their pass numbers. Yeah, they also played Alabama A&M. All right.
Ball State. Yeah,
their last pro they developed was John fucking Stallworth. All right. But look.
Well, I don't get the brain man cold.
Nice non-con. All right. Does it get easier? It does, sort of. But New Hampshire is actually a good FCS. Let me tell you this, Mac. This series goes back to 2009, by the way. Let me tell you this. If for some reason Ball State's offense, and they're going to be 0-2, I'm fairly certain. But this is a scary game, because if you get your ass whooped, injuries can happen, taking on 2 Power 5s. New Hampshire's good. If you follow FCS football,
yeah,
New Hampshire keeps a good FCS program. So tread lightly. Tread lightly. I'll say that. Let me just try to tell you what I mean when I say this. And they like New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's won a bye game before. I think they've won a couple.
I told you, man. They're a good program. They're just a good. They're a good college football FCS program. They've been to countless FCS playoffs. So it is a dangerous game. And if you are shook because you just got waxed by Purdue and Auburn, it is not the worst thing about the worst thing about the schedule is, like, in an unknown offense, confidence actually really fucking matters. All right. You got a wide receiver that is playing quarterback the past couple weeks, or whether it's Taylor coming in from Colorado, he's learning a brand new offense. This is a scary game, because if you get your ass up the first 2 weeks, you have people questioning the offense. You don't feel the rhythm of it. You're overthinking every little pass. It could be a fucking screen or a quarterback draw, where you're supposed to hesitate to make it look like a pass, and you're one beat late because you're just second guessing everything. I'll take Ball State, but let me tell you, I don't feel good about this. How about you, Mac?
Yeah, I think Ball State will bounce back here. I looked it up. New Hampshire lost at Central Michigan, another MAC team, by a field goal in 23, and they lost to JMU in 21-2. So, like,
I told you, they're a good fucking program, dude.
Yeah. So
they were in the FCS playoffs last year.
Yeah. Ball State gets their first win of the Uremovich era. But it is a little. Anytime you you play a bye game, coming off bye games, like sandwiched in because they got UConn up next, like it's a little dicey. So yeah, but I'll give them this one.
Yeah, I mean, just watch out. I'll just say that. Just watch out. I hope, like, you'd almost wish this was played week 1 because you'll have your health from and you going through 2 body blow Power 5 opponents, and then going to this game is sneaky game. So, I'll say win, but my confidence rate is like 53% to 47%. I'll put it like that. Then they head to Hartford, Connecticut to take on friend of the program, Jim Mora. They're not winning this game because UConn's good. People didn't catch that because they're independent and you got to watch fucking, well, you got to have some rare TV package to find most of their games. UConn's winning this game. I actually think UConn was pretty damn good last year. They should have beat Duke. They were in that game with Duke. The wheels fell off late. I actually think they're going to this might be uglier than the Purdue game.
Yeah, 1-3. No further now.
Potential for 0-4, dude.
Yeah.
Potential for 0-4. And I like the hire. You got a bye week. Shout out to our friend Carson Lexington Steele. Yes. Now in the National Football League. Then they come back and they're taking on the Ohio Bobcats. Now, this is a new coach. The series goes back to 1975. Brian Smith coming in for Ohio. We have our preview out. Go listen to it. Oh, man. We took Ohio, and we took Ohio with good reason. The bye week helps, but Ohio's got Parker Navarro back. It ran for what, like 1,200 yards a season ago? Yeah. I got to take the Bobcats, even though, like, it's a wacky Mac. A lot of fun games, you know, so you never truly know. But you got to feel Ohio won the MAC last year, folks, if you forgot. So I will take the Bobcats. What are you doing here?
I'm going to take Ohio. I think Ohio's at a different level right now as far as a program. I know new coach stepping in here, but they remained a lot of continuity. So, yeah, I'll take Ohio 1-4 for me.
Yeah, the MAC schedule was brutal, actually, if I'm being honest. Then they head to Kalamazoo in a series that goes back to 1971 and take on Lance Taylor in Western Michigan. It's year 3 for Lance Taylor. I think he's quietly done a decent job. I think this is a loss. I think Western Michigan is actually a contender for the MAC championship this year. So, unfortunately, this is another loss for Ball State. MAC?
Yeah, and like you said, Western Michigan has been better than their record. And I think they don't have a bye. But yeah, Western Michigan at home too much for Ball State.
Yeah. I love Robert Martin coming after someone that gave us a thumbs down. Well, probably a Letterman fan or a Whitlock fan. We're just joking. But
people are such fucking losers.
Keep it up, all right? Uremovich probably got the notification.
He's like 1-5.
I said I like the hire. The schedule's tough, brother.
The schedule's really hard.
After that, they do host Akron in Muncie. But guess the series goes back to 1964. Akron is not eligible for a bowl based on academics, which just fucking made me laugh. The NCAA sitting there just being like, oh, fuck you, dude. I mean, if I had never done the podcast, maybe I would buy into it. But knowing and interviewing so many players over the years, I just think that's ridiculous because you just know certain situations. I actually think Akron's going to beat them too here, Mac. I have another loss for Ball State. How about you?
I think I'm going to give it to Ball State. I think talent-wise, they're on par with Akron. So, yeah, give me Ball State. Win number 2, baby.
Not me. I think Akron actually they've been losing close in a lot of stuff. I think Moorhead's closer to bowl. Well, he can't go to a bowl, but as long as he could tell his boosters, look, we're 6-6. We could be in the goddamn, Church's Chicken Bowl. All right, we could do that. All right, just give me another year and somebody cook the books on their grades, please. After that, they head to Northern Illinois. I think this is the one because guess who knows Tommy Hammock better than anybody? Maybe. I mean, you could say PJ Fleck because he was his roommate. But Uremovich was part of Northern Illinois staff when Hammock was a player and when Hammock was a coach. So,
Because I understand how the bastard thinks. I taught him. Now I owe him one.
I mean, I think it might be the other way around, but he still might owe him one. You never know. Buy someone a beer, they forget about it. I got them losing. This is the final year in the MAC. I know there's a target on Northern Illinois, but I got Ball State losing another game, Mac. How about you?
God damn, what do you have them at, 1-8?
I mean, the schedule is insane. They get like Akron to me is. I actually think Akron is better than their record.
Yeah,
Akron's their most. Dude, what's more? I'll be honest. You can convince me that New Hampshire could beat them. So it's like, I mean,
I have Northern Illinois winning this too.
All right, so we agree there. I like that game on the schedule before Northern Illinois ditches for the Mountain West, and I don't know how you feel about that, but it goes back to 1941. This matchup, so I hope, I mean, they don't fit in the Mountain West. I mean, I guess they'll have snow, so okay, cool. They have like snow at Husky Stadium a lot, so that fits the name Mountain West. But I'm like, there's no mountains in DeKalb.
Yeah.
Look at Boston. Now they got a much needed bye week. Shout out to look at Nate Davis there. Someone's telling me he's playing in the IFL in the chat. Get him in the CFL. We need him in the CFL. Next up, this is it, Mac. Kent State, who fired Kenny Burns like a month or two ago. This is a win for Ball State. Kent State's whole team left. Series goes back to the 70s. Ball State win number 2 for me. What are you doing here, Mac?
This has got to be a win. Wednesday night home game, kind of a bye week. Yeah, I got him winning this one. Win number 3.
Then Chris Creighton and Eastern Michigan come to town. Series goes back to 1977. We already dropped our Eastern Michigan preview. I have EMU winning this. I think EMU's in a different stage of their program. Ball State down the road, you could be EMU. You could be, a team that wins the MAC. But right now, I got to take the Hurons. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take Creighton and his bunch here. Yeah. And then this ending to the schedule is a fucking crime. This is
the whole schedule. We'll talk in a second here. But now they head to the Glass Bowl. Take on Toledo. Series goes back to 1975. Yep. This is a big loss. I'll lay the 19 in a MAC game. That's insane, but it might be something that big. What are you doing here?
Loss. They're not winning at Toledo, and then go to the last game. What is this finish? These 2 games. What?
The rivalry game. Series goes back to 1931 as they head to Oxford, Ohio, to take on the Redskins of Miami, Ohio. Mac, I have this team losing yet again to Chuck Martin's bunch. So I have them with 2 wins, buddy.
Yeah, I have them 3-9, and I gave them Akron and New Hampshire.
Yeah, the win total's 3.5. They're plus 7,000 to win the MAC. They're plus 15,000 to make the CFP. Yeah, and look, I like Uremovich. He can. We'll invite him on this show if anyone's listening that knows Ball State. He'll hook us up. Mac, I feel like we've gotten a lot crazy lately, but I feel pretty damn good. Can I just emphasize this point? So the road games are in white, right? YouTube.com/The College Experience. I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I have every single road game against a team making a bowl.
Yeah. I mean, what's the most winnable one? Northern Illinois?
Just because he knows that.
Yeah. Like they're going to be easy, like not.
I feel pretty solid because when you think about New Hampshire, and when New Hampshire gets them, when you go down to Jordan-Hare Stadium and get pummeled, you're learning a new offense. I'm sorry, I am locking up the under on Ball State, and I actually think they got the higher right. But this MAC schedule too, like, okay, you want Kent State and Akron on the schedule, sure, right? You do.
No UMass.
Well, you also want, in my opinion, I would rather have Akron and Kent State on the road. So, to me, your road games are fucking brutal. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have.
They're ridiculous. Those are like two of the top 3 teams in the fucking league, and they get them both on the road. The end back to back. Jesus.
And I'm sorry, I stand corrected. I don't have Purdue as a bowl team, but I'm saying non-Power 5 games, road trips to UConn, Western Michigan, Northern Illinois, Toledo, and Miami, Ohio. I actually think all of them will easily be in a bowl game. I don't even think they'll be 6-6. I think these teams will be above 6 and 6 will get you to a bowl. Sometimes 5 and 7 will get you to a bowl. These programs, I think, are all in a very good spot. And I'd be shocked if Ball State was able to go on the road and win any of those. You know what they need to hope for, honestly? They need to hope for weather. They need, like...
They're going to run the ball.
Yeah, they need to hope for, like, if you're playing, I don't know, Toledo or Miami, Ohio late, just get a fucking torrential downpour. And that might... You might be able to steal a game in that regard. But, yeah, I feel pretty damn good about this under. So I will lock this up. Mac, you going to lock this up?
I think I'm going to stay off the lock just because it's the MAC. And crazy shit can happen. I predict you'll text me when New Hampshire wins by double digits. You're going to text me saying, damn it, Dundee, I should have locked up the under. Yeah.
Why not schedule? Give Uremovich, if you're listening to this, tell your athletic. I know your athletic director probably scheduled New Hampshire a couple years ago. But I mean, why not put Butler on that schedule? Why not put Western Illinois on the schedule? New Hampshire. I'll tell you this: New Hampshire is much harder than Kent State.
Yeah. Kent State's awful. I mean, I can't wait to do that preview.
They're having a mutiny or something. Something's crazy. I mean, they got great history too. They just got to figure it out. I'm locking up the under. You will see me cashing a ticket here in Las Vegas with the under on 3.5 wins. And I'm still fast. I think they got the higher right. So there should be room for optimism. That schedule, I think, might be the hardest. That might be the hardest schedule in the MAC just because of those road spots. You got like every great team in the MAC's road, on the road schedule. So anyway, folks, stick around. In 15 minutes, we're going to be going live with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets season preview episode, and I'm excited about them. Yeah. So buckle up. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. So yeah. Subscribe, tell a friend. All right. Please, if you can, 5 stars, iTunes, Spotify, we recommend that. But also YouTube, watch the show, youtube.com/The College Experience. And that's all of our hubs: College Basketball Experience, College Baseball Experience, FCS College Football Experience. All of those come together as one on, and the College Football Experience, obviously, come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. And folks, until next time, enjoy the slideshow, by the way. This is the College Football Experience, Ball State Cardinals style. You better start thinking about shaving your beard, David Letterman. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages. 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. My body can soul, and nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely cause leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pitch right now. It's like
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, and nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles tape. Shake the cobweb and hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the head. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, and nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just a word to the wise and the weary. Recognize the authors of reality and theory. Theoretically, I could have won Scribble Jam. In reality, I lost to a legend. Theoretically, I'm best friends with Uncle Sam. In reality, I've never even met him. Now